Mm. All right. I think we're just going to get this party started since we're just waiting here for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous at this point.
Well, at least I got a coffee out of it.
Could have had your coffee and drank it by now.
Well, this is the second cup.
Oh, fair enough. Alrighty. Well, welcome back to the Dark Queen. When last we left off, the party had made it to the city and seen what was left of it. They headed into the sort of palace that was left behind, the royal quarters that has been retrofitted to be a more of a survivor's refuge. They were walking through and talking with people when Toki announced the arrival of dark creatures from the burned lands. And when last we left off, the party had defeated those creatures and gotten their level up. And we resume just after the fighting. The floor is yours.
Those torches really came in handy. Is everyone accounted for?
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
It's nice to have a single head again. Not gonna lie.
While it may have its perks. But Tengu, that seems to be a new form. I take it it's not suiting you well? At least for battle?
Maybe it's more of a beast of burden. Maybe not
Well-
this particular kind of burden.
Well, let us hope we can at least pass the burden on to our foes.
Yes, do remind me, what was that form you took again? It feels like we were here for 3 weeks.
Yes, I am quite winded myself as well.
The two-headed goat.
Right, that's what it was. Very fancy.
If I remember correctly, it bit you, if my eyes did not deceive me.
It was not my intention. Please don't fixate on my failures just after we finish.
Oh no, I'm more so fixating on the strange force those creatures put upon us. Keep in mind, I was under the thrall of something for a small amount of time in an earlier encounter.
Great.
Right, well, that explains the bite mark in my thigh. Bite size, did you stab me?
Yeah, I didn't want to. It wasn't up to me, but I'm still sorry about it. And also, I think you stabbed me back, so fair.
Oh, my word, did I?
If
My
anything,
apologies.
I think I should stand out of the way of the two stabby people.
That's... I'm not going to... You know what, fair.
I just jest.
Now, she is bite-sized after all. She does go for the ankles. It's a wise precaution.
That being said, good work out there, you two. You really were a good front line. Those shadows did not stand a chance.
Thank you all. I do not think we would have survived another attack wave like that.
And you have our appreciation. You lent us supplies during this grueling battle.
Well, I try to do what I can for my people, but I'm no fighter.
Tell me, how often do these attacks happen?
Well, they can vary. Sometimes there's weeks between. Sometimes it's a few hours later. We haven't had one in a few days, and I hope this means that we have at least a few more days reprieve.
Hopefully. It's just interesting. I'm curious if they're looking for a strategic standpoint.
I don't think these creatures are mindful specifically. They are dark fae.
Okay, so at least they're not giving commands. It's more so they're spilling into the area?
That is my assumption, yes. For you see, our region borders that of the dark fae void, but it is about a week's walk from here.
Oh, good.
Fair.
More walking. I love it.
I don't know if you should go there. I've never heard of anyone coming back from the void. It is all around the Feywilds.
Right, yes, we're supposed to be, due to our contract, looking for somewhere safe to go.
Well, if anything, it was more so to set up the reconnaissance or scouting camp.
Right, and we don't want people to show up for to the camp and be immediately hounded by who knows what, right?
Agreed.
So,
But at the same time, it's still good to know that this void is nearby.
Who are you setting up camp for, if I may ask?
We were sent here by the Iron Lords. They
Who are
wanted
they?
us to... Well, they are a group of adventurers that have a lot of renown in our realm. And from what I understand, a few of them have a score to settle with Tsutsiko.
Ah. Well, would they be able to provide soldiers?
Well, the hope is if we set up a camp and report back to them, it may serve as a military standpoint for them.
The only problem is, how are you getting out?
Well, that is a predicament, of course. I'm sure for us, all of our party here, we don't know yet. But at the same time, the more information we can gather, the more likely we can set up this camp of ours. And then maybe we can find a vantage point out.
and the faster we do that, the faster we can get our freedom back.
Tsutsiko has sealed all exits to the Feywilds. The only place you'd be able to get out is the Raynath's territory, the Forest King. But he has sealed his lands off. None can enter, none can exit.
That does sound like quite a predicament. But that being said, despite them being sealed off, I would assume that he would still know of the going-ons outside of his kingdom. Is that correct?
As far as I know, he hasn't sent any scouts out. He's, ever since the last Archfey outside his realm fell, he just fully sealed everything off, leaving us to fend for ourselves. He controls the largest territory in the Feywild, but I assume he was just protecting his own people, which is fair, but shitty for us.
Yeah, it does sound like a self-preserving move. But at the same time, he may need to scout at some point. Maybe they get supplies or other resources for his people.
I highly doubt that he would need resources outside of his lands, as they cover 45% of what the Feywilds are.
That is
Right,
fair.
so he's just a hoarder who isn't helping the rest of the people on the mainland. Wonderful. I
I
don't have
mean-
a brilliant impression of this fella.
But at the same time, it's a respectable move to look after his own people at the same time.
Understandable, yes. Respectable. I would happily debate you on that.
Do any of you personally know the Iron Lords?
Well,
I
I
mean,
personally do not. But
I've
Bite-Size over
partied. I
here-
partied with, yeah, I've partied with Tamaki and Zuglag quite a bit.
Who I assume are Iron Lords, yes?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Well, I have a proposition. If you set up your forward base here, do you think that the Iron Lords would help my people? If you could find a way out, that is.
Well, I do think at the very least, if we set up a camp here with your people and as it being already a force of resistance, it may be the best vantage point we have.
It does sound like a mutually beneficial sort of situation.
Yes, and I suppose if the
Think I
Iron
would
Lords were
probably be
looking to
into
set
it.
up an outpost, there would probably be military force that would come with that.
Are they the occupying type? Should I be worried?
I don't think so. They don't seem, oh, what's the phrase? Like the serious type.
No, definitely not.
Then how do they expect to be able to defeat Tsutsiko?
Well,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
they
they've
do have
done a
very
lot
formidable
of-
warriors.
Yes. They've done a lot. They've done a lot of big serious things, even though they aren't very big serious people at heart.
Plus, isn't one of them
Amazing.
like super powerful with some godhood business or something or other?
Tamaki, she's part of the seven. She's the yellow.
Oh, well then you could have just followed. You could have just led with that. Oh, a 7 in our presence would be very bolstering. I will see what resources I can divert to help you set up a base here. However, I still don't know how you're going to get out, to get back to them, or get back in for that matter.
At the very least, if we can find out how to send a message, maybe
Right.
not get out immediately, we would be able to at least get our bolstering forces.
Agreed. Communication is probably the first thing. If the exits have been all locked off, then at least we can communicate that there is people here needing to be protected in a place where they can set up. So
Do you have sending stones?
I take out mine and hold it up.
And the other one is with the Iron Lords?
Should be. I haven't had. We haven't really used it since we got here, except to notify them that we got here. So we'll give it a go tonight and see if we can maybe have a conversation.
Oh, that is wonderful news. Please do take whatever hospitality you need in the main building. What we have is yours. You are the protectors for now.
Right, we'll do our best. And again, thanks for your help. Those torches were essential.
Oh, it was nothing.
Is there a cat somewhere around here? I thought I heard a meow.
I apologize. There's a lot of cats running around being annoying.
Yeah,
a
there
lot
was
of
one with
homeless.
a very creepy smile the other day.
A lot
The one
of.
who tried to talk to us, yeah.
Was he large and kind of off-putting?
Yes, and he kind of perched himself up on like a pillar or a bridge like this. He tried to get me to share my name, which I did not fall for.
That's Belrast. He's a bit of a trickster around here.
Huh.
But yeah, don't
So-
give him your name.
So the cat does reveal his own name. Interesting.
He's just old enough that it's known.
Fair enough.
If that's his real name, I have no idea. But Belrast has, been here since my grandfather's time. But he will take your soul if you give his name, so don't do that.
Oh, yes. Well, lovely.
Well, we did dodge a bullet there then.
Wonderful. But yes, there are lots of cats in the city that are now homeless without owners that we can't really do anything about. So if you hear cats running around, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, well, that's fair enough, I suppose.
And does make sense considering Toki as well.
Right. Where is the little scamp?
Oh, I
gotta
made
find
sure he
him.
was inside.
Oh, good. Thank you for that too.
Oh, good.
He's in the
Gotta thank that
tavern, I
pup for-
believe.
Gotta thank that pup for warning us.
Yes, we were able to get into position right in time, although I would imagine the guards outside would have alerted us too.
Yes, they are very good shots, but they would have been overwhelmed themselves. They are not very good in hand-to-hand combat.
Right. So if you discuss with the others about the potential for the Iron Lords making this a base so that everyone's aware, we can communicate with them on our end and we'll see what we can do.
Sounds great. I will let you guys get to it, and I'll have some things to take care of myself. And he walks away.
Alright, so I guess we'll get set up inside and try and convey the situation, shall we?
Yes, and if anyone needs to tend to their wounds, we should do so while things are a little less hectic. But I'm feeling fine, luckily.
Yeah, can someone check my stab wound? How much am I bleeding? I can't see.
Oh, yes, hold on. One. It seems to heal over quite nicely. That's strange. The Feywild is very disconcerting.
Well, it could be the adrenaline from winning our combat. Maybe it healed our wounds.
And I suppose I'm not much of a medical man,
Neither am I, but I've heard stranger things.
but I do know one thing for sure. Ale seems to cure all wounds. So, tavern,
Yes, tavern indeed. And I will try not to make an ass of myself this time.
This
Oh,
time, what
fire.
did you do?
you'll
I'd
have
rather
your
not
work cut
talk
out
about it.
for.
Hmm.
I had this weird feeling of leveling up.
Almost like my skills have reached another level.
As you guys come back in, Toki comes running. And
Good boy! Such a good boy! I give him like those really enthusiastic pets where it like ruffles his ears.
he's just super excited that you guys are all alive.
Such a good boy!
Pat, pat.
I also pat Toki.
Doggo very happy.
Yay.
Yes, Toki,
And
good,
with that,
good boy. Pat, pat.
Smiles happily at you. Runs after Joven.
Oh, God, he's he think. Good boy. Go follow Tengu. Off you go. No dogs in the tavern.
I mean, wasn't he in the tavern just now?
Shut.
I say Toki can hang out with whoever he wants.
Bollocks.
Alright.
Crawls up beside Joven.
You
I
show
thought it was
affection for
cats that
once.
followed around people who didn't like them.
You showed a brief moment of affection. That's enough.
Yes, how foolish of me to show my weaknesses. Oh, these are good enough, lad. He's a good boy. I suppose I can't hate him that much. Yes, there's no reason to get excited. Stay down.
I'm just like gleefully grinning at this. Like this is just freaking adorable.
You know, on second thought, I'm thinking I might sit at another table.
Later.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you had enough of our company for now?
Yes.
That's what the Irish goodbye.
Yes, I'll take the chair. I was just sitting on the floor.
Tengu, are you sitting on the floor actually? Because I can only see your eyes above the table right now.
I've moved over here.
I'm sorry, it's just you're so far away. It's so difficult to maintain. It's like the curvature of the earth is on the other side of this table.
Look, I know I'm small. You can stop that now.
I'm sorry, I'm a little high off the adrenaline still. We did almost just die.
Only a few times.
Yes, right? Who's counting?
I didn't realize it would boost your sass.
Well, in all fairness, I did have a glass or two of ale, no, wine, before we started the fight, if I remember correctly. Speaking of which,
Right, what does everyone want? I can get
Hello.
the first round. Oh,
Get off the table,
hello
please.
again.
sorry. Old habits die hard.
Well, what can I get you? Everything's on the house, obviously.
Oh, well.
On the house,
Take
but not on
3
the
ales.
table.
She gives you a flat look.
You haven't even drank anything yet. Calm down.
Our pardons, she's a bit of a wild child. She doesn't have the table manners down pat as of yet.
She gives you a
let's-
flat look.
Yes, I'm aware I'm no better. It's a joke, dear. Let's get a bottle or two for the table of some wine and maybe a round of ale a little bit later, depending on how we're feeling.
Sure, no problem. Anything
And
to
I'll,
eat as she walks away?
I think I'm quite all right for the moment. Anybody else?
Cheese.
Well, it might be a good idea. 'cause It
Cheese.
sounds like some of
Cheese.
you are sick of my eggs.
Oh, gods, that's right. Yes, cheese, whatever cheese is
Sure.
available, and crackers
Uh,
for starters.
How about I bring you over a fresh baked loaf and cheese? Does that sound good?
Magnificent.
Yes.
We'll take- Yes.
It's
Wonderful.
been so long since I've had a good loaf of bread. Thank you. That sounds absolutely delightful.
So you see her leave
Put it on
the
it.
tavern. I'm going to pause with you guys. Go to Ire. Ire, what are you doing?
Well, I heard that there's a gentleman in this tavern that tells the most wondrous stories, and I thought I would chat him up for a bit.
Is it me you're talking to?
Yes. Mind if I sit here?
Well, I suppose you can.
I do appreciate that. Tell
Have you
me,
ever thought about how the walls are made of trees? And yet
The walls?
trees surround us at all times. Does that mean that we are always living inside of the trees?
in a roundabout way, I think you could be right. I mean, the passage of life and death, despite that, these trees are used in death to make our homes.
And what is death? Death is but the ceasing of existence. But living on in these trees.
Yeah, and at the same time, looking around and seeing us living in this tree, as you put it, don't we give the tree life at the same time?
So what were we talking about?
Well, I thought maybe we were talking about a bit of philosophy in terms of us living and the building technically being dead.
Did you
But-
know that this building was built 300 years ago by my founder?
Interesting. 300 years. I can only fathom living that long.
That was there when I was a child. When the birds took flight. And the grass did grow.
Tell me, how old are you?
How old is anything? That is a question that one must ask themselves.
Fair enough. And maybe our lived experiences dictate this age of ours, but at the same time, what I'm truly asking is, How many cycles of the sun have you seen?
Have you ever thought about bears? We don't have them here, but I've heard of them.
Very interesting. I don't know what to say to that, though. Tell me, if
This couch is really comfortable.
yes, they are comfy. Now, out of curiosity, I noticed you were talking to a gentleman not too long ago before the commotion.
What
Did you have
commotion?
an interesting oh, there was a fight outside, you see, but it's been taken care of.
Good. Yep.
But it looked like you had a very interesting conversation earlier. What was that about?
True task.
Fair enough, it may not be in my place to ask. I'm just a curious fellow.
Well, you could continue to be curious.
And maybe my curious lifestyle will aid me in the future. But it still has been a very interesting conversation.
To hear in this temple that's about a week away from here, that is in the, I think it's in the mountains to the east, through the scorched lands. It is a temple to Olu, I believe. I think that's what she's looking for.
Interesting.
I wonder if she's found it yet.
Thank
The
you.
house, the path to get to where you need to be.
To the east. A path. Interesting.
Uh,
Is there any idea how I can maybe uncover this path?
mm, I know of this temple. It's said to lead to a relic. In this temple, you must find it. She must be close to it. She cannot have it. You must have it. Yes,
Oh.
yes, you must have it.
When you say she, do you mean the Dark One?
Mm, yes.
Well, I do appreciate you telling me this bit of information. And if we do have the opportunity, we may be able to look into
Have you ever
it.
thought what lights are made of? What are lights either? What is fire?
Thank you for the interesting conversation.
You must
Tell me.
travel.
Yes, we must travel.
We must travel.
Well,
Go a week's walk past the darkened mountains to the east in the mountains at the edge of this territory, before the void of the dark Feywells beyond. Enter the temple through and then find the article you need. Yeah, but have you ever... You know what? I don't even know. I'm talking to you. Who are you?
I'm just a weary traveler, and
Have you seen my
sometimes I
wife?
take up business. I do not know who your wife is, but if I do see your wife, I will let you know.
What about my children? Are they fine?
I have not seen them, but I can say at the very least, me and my friends have protected this place for now. Well, it was nice talking to you. If I may, who are you?
Giant Crowlem.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Crowlem. And
What is
I
your
do
name?
look forward. Well, I am a weary traveler after all, of many names. But
Well, then tell me one of them.
maybe one day. But at the same time, I do appreciate this little chat. You can
Brilliant.
call me a rambler.
No, ramble.
Well, I
It's
could.
time we had a ramble. Then he's gonna keep
Well,
talking to you.
But random stuff, and we're gonna go back to the table over here. What are you guys talking about?
Do we have wine or bread yet?
We'll say halfway through that conversation, Sally came back and she distributed a couple of freshly baked loaves of bread, some soft cheese, and the wine.
Cool. I'm already kind of tearing at one of the loaves with my fingers, and I'm offering the other part to other people. I hold out like I pull off a chunk where it like leaves some of my fingerprint, my fingers imprints, and then I just like halfway through chewing, just hand the other half to Serafina.
Oh, thank you. I rip off a piece and go to hand it to Joven. Would you like some?
Yes, I suppose. Why not? I'll have some.
Bork bork?
Is it safe for him to have a small piece? I don't know much about dogs.
Bork 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 bork.
He definitely wants some. You can give a little bit, but if you eat off the table at the same time, he's going to come to you every time you eat. So maybe wait till you're almost done eating, then give him a little.
Nudges your leg.
You are the wild one. Stay. Not now. Good boy.
Leaves. Goes to bite size. And you
Off
see
the
like
table! Off
no,
the table!
he's under the table, and bite size
Okay.
like a little head just like pokes up between your legs.
Oh, hey,
He's
bud,
like-
here you go. Immediately gives him some bread. Like right away.
And he just
Alright, I hope
devours
you-
and curls up beside you on the chair because you're small enough.
I
Post
hope
all
you know
together.
you're setting a precedent there, bite-sized.
Uh-huh. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell him.
Alright.
And yes, you see, Tengu, you should follow Toki's example. You go under the table. It's far more socially acceptable as opposed to crawling over it.
Yes, once again, I know I'm small.
That doesn't have anything to do with your size. It has everything to do with crawling
Most
across a table in the
people
middle of a tavern.
Look, most people your size walk around the table, and none of that's been suggested to me, so how can I think it's not about me being small, huh? And then I take a big old swig of wine.
Well, that just doesn't make any sense.
Right, just as much sense as walking under a table when I'm a grown person.
Yeah, I feel like that would garner you some like weird looks walking under the table.
Right.
You know what? Fuck it. Forget I said anything, and I'll slam some booze.
Alright, well.
So you guys, as you're like talking about the bread and eating, you guys hear the rambling conversation going on behind you.
Is he talking about trees or cheese? It's a little hard here.
He doesn't have any cheese. Why are we talking about cheese? Unless he saw our cheese and now he wants some.
I mean, people just talk about things bite-sized. You could just be talking about cheese. Perhaps he's an aficionado.
How often have
Not
we
at all.
talked about cheese before this moment?
Yeah,
I'm
well, we've
gonna-
spent a lot of damn time talking to eggs.
I'm going to grab some of the bread and some of the cheese and a glass of wine, and I'm going to bring it over to Ire. Here, our food's come. Enjoy.
Oh, it's much appreciated. Thank you.
The man is just
And-
continuing to ramble as you're giving this to him.
Right,
Don't
you're
mind
doing-
us. We're just talking a bit of philosophy.
A
Is that
lot
what
of
that
other
is?
things, too, it seems like.
Oh, we'll catch up later. Unless if you'd like to join us.
I was hoping you might join us so we can get this call over with, because I'd really like to be out of the thumb of your master sometime soon.
Well, I mean, technically it's out of the thumb of the Iron Lords, but at the same time, yes. I understand your mentality. However, Krolum, I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but my companions do need me.
Stay awake.
To do the call back to the Iron Lords.
Remember your master's orders.
Will do. And I step out from the table, and I bring the bread and wine with me. And I'll just kind of like awkwardly stand at the table here and then just kind of like eat and drink.
Right, I'm actually quite comfortable standing if you want to sit.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
How's
I just
anyone
stole
gonna
your
see
chair
you?
because it was there.
Okay.
I don't need that from you too, bite size. Come on.
No, I mean legitimately. Like, I'm not being a dick. It's just if you're standing at the height of the table, not everyone's gonna be able to see you.
For you see, she is also very small.
I drag a stool from the bar over here. Happy?
Saley gives you a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Now I'm as tall as the medium ones and I feel super awkward. Alright, so shall we send them a message back and say that there's a group of people here willing to share their area in exchange for some protection?
I'd say so. What
Yeah.
time is it there, do you think?
Oh, thank you. Ah, it's on my face!
What is the name of this place? I'm sorry, I don't recall.
Of this place here?
Yes, of this town establishment. Oh, that's right. It was a tongue twister. That's horrible to say in this accent. All right. Philaliastia, was it? Something like that?
Right.
Yes, that one.
Ollie Ollie accent free. Alright, yes. Alright, so yes, I'm gonna pull out my sending stone and try to use it to try and contact home base. Did we get through?
Yes. So you get through to the Iron Lords, and for whoever the Iron Lords want to respond,
I'll respond, I don't mind.
it's for you, like for Tamaki, it's been like a half an hour since you called last.
Oh, wow. Okay, perfect.
Right, hello. Can you hear us okay?
Sorry. Out of game. What time of day is it? I'm curious.
For you,
For Tamaki, yeah.
for Tamaki, it would be like late afternoon, like 5 o'clock. They're probably getting ready for dinner.
Okay, cool.
Zuglags,
Alright, makes sense.
running around with fucking food. Annoying the chef,
Yeah,
as he
the
does.
usual things. Hello? Yes?
Right, hello. For I don't know what it's been like for you, but for us it's been a few days, and Tsutsiko
It's been a whole half hour since the last time that we talked. I'm in the kitchen. Zuglag's fussing with the chef over what we're having for dinner, and I told him it's fine. It's not important. What's going on with you? Is something wrong?
Oh, it is important, all right. I said medium rare.
All right. Well, first of all, Tsutsiko's really done a number on a lot of places down here. It's a little scary. We actually had a pretty bad encounter a few days ago, I guess. We're doing all right now, and we've actually come across days for us. Yes.
No, I know time is weird there. It's just a half hour for us is days for you. It's and stuff's bad. You said how bad is it?
All the towns we've encountered so far have been entirely wiped out, pretty much, other than a few strongholds, one of which we're currently occupying.
Oh my gosh.
Right, it's actually pretty terrible. So, we are at Filialiastia, and we were talking with some of the people here, and it seems like they're willing to give up some of their sort of land area in exchange for some protection, because they've been getting overrun by Fae, and basically a whole 4/5 of this town have been entirely ruined. So we're with the last survivors here, and they would like some protection, but they do have a stronghold castle type situation, which would probably be a good base to work from, in our opinion, from our initial scouts so far. So we were wondering about your thoughts.
I imagine this one he's probably like pulled Zuglag out like around like a quarter into what you're saying, so he can like hear what you're talking about. No, I think that's great, and that's more than fair. I mean, an already established place like a stronghold, all they want in exchange is some protections. People who we want to send in anyway. I think that's fair. What do you think, Zug?
Well, I only caught about half the conversation, but I mean, if there's already an established place, like a city or a fortress or something, that saves us about half our work. So, yeah, I guess that works for us.
And
Yeah, it sounds good. Like what do you call Tsutsiko? Mutually beneficial.
Right, yeah. So the only
Gesundheit.
other issue is that Tsutsiko has also blocked off a lot of the exits here. So I want to give you a forewarning that it may be more difficult to go home than it was to get here. So there's a few leads on in terms of escape. One, there's something about a king.
well, actually, there is another issue, and I did not have a chance to share it all with you. So, as you saw me talking philosophy, I did learn some things from that dryad a little bit earlier. So, Tsutsiko is currently searching for a relic to try to get past Rainif's wards, that king that we were talking about. And I do know of where that relic could be, and it may be advantageous for maybe us or another party or
Oh, are
just
you looking to extend our contract? Because I was real excited that we were basically almost finished our part of the job.
well, think of it this way. Just thinking back at the beginning, when we did see some of those like archfey worried about the power of Tsutsiko and trying to get more power than her, or not the archfey, but the Nephilim. If Tsutsiko gets that relic, it could be problematic.
All right, yes, that's fair. But if we get the Iron Lord set up here and then we try to figure that stuff out, are we done with the thing that you made me shake your hand for? Yes or no?
I think that's up to our employer at this point.
All right, so we've got them on the phone.
But that being said, tell me, how long has it been since we called you last?
Like
they're in about half an hour.
literally like a half an hour.
And even when we set up camp, and let's say they do find a way into the Feywilds, considering how long we've been here, that relic may have been snatched by that time.
Right, so we go after it, but we've still done our thing, right? We can still do this, but have it not be part of the handshake part, right?
Well, what say you, Tamaki?
I mean, I don't want to be like a stickler or anything, but I mean the job was to help set up the camp, right?
I nod enthusiastically.
I mean, like you found the place, great. And I mean, it definitely would be appreciated if you guys could stay there till we are able to get to you and the camp is actually established.
So,
continues to nod enthusiastically,
at
staring
the
at
very
Ire.
least, I'm not against what you're saying. I just wanted to be sure. I did not want to break our contract in any rushed way.
No, I don't think that we're rushing this in any sort of capacity. I mean, I appreciate you checking to make sure that you're doing your due diligence, but we said, come scout a place, get the camp set up. You scouted a place, we have a place. You're in the home stretch, in my opinion.
Perfect. Then I have no qualms with this. Just let us do at least handle that relic with care.
Right, makes sense to me.
Okay. And
so everything's
before
good?
I go though, one last thing.
It's just
always one last
I know I'm
thing.
No,
real
no,
far
no,
away,
no.
but
It's
like
just
I
you
can
may have
hear
more
the tension
information.
that's happening between you both right now.
Oh, no. It's not what you think. I just have a quick question. Do you know anything about the god of dreams?
Anything you cut out
About the god of dreams?
personally?
Yes.
No, of her. Haven't really gotten personally acquainted with her, but I know of things.
Okay. Well, if there's any
Why?
information, well, I do have some good knowledge of maybe where that relic could be. So, if you know anything to
And is it in
maybe,
is it in the dream world?
well, I don't know specifically, but there is a temple.
Uh-huh.
So if you do know anything in terms of at least,
Well, okay, so there was this person that I met this one time, and we talked for a time. It's before I became an Iron Lord. I was doing some traveling. I stopped in this town, and I really needed something to eat. And everyone's like, "You totally have to go to this restaurant." So I go to this restaurant, and it's owned by these humans, right? And they have like live music, and the food's fantastic. And I end up talking with the owner's daughter. She's like a half elf, and we end up talking. And throughout the process of us talking, she ends up going and telling me about this person she went on an adventuring thing with. Middle. This person ended up becoming essentially who you're talking about and who you're looking for. Because, you know, I was curious about adventuring, and she was all, "Oh, I went adventuring. Let me tell you about the people that I went adventuring with." And so, point is, her name is Nappy. She likes teeth. She's very short. She has very bright hair, and she's extremely violent, from what I see.
You
That's
met
what I
her
know,
once,
because
by
I'm
the way.
talking about
You met Snappy. You've
No,
been
I
in the
know.
dream realm.
I've been there. I've seen. But also, I just think this is like a fun
Oh, fair enough.
anecdote.
I mean, that doesn't sound like the name I heard, but at the same time, maybe they're connected. Thank you. I do appreciate your information. And I want to apologize for
Also, I
extending
ended
this
up meeting her
conversation.
after that. I know, like, funny thing, going and like hearing about someone, right, and then you actually like meet them in person, and everything that person told me, very true. She seems very serious about what she's, you know, her responsibilities and everything. I can't imagine that she would be a hindrance necessarily.
Understood. And that's good news for us then. Thank you.
Right, yes, thanks for your time. Hopefully we see you here soon. But yeah, Philialiastria, that's where you're headed, alright?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. And I hang up, I guess. Alright, so that went well. We're almost done with this business. This is good. Then all we need to figure out is how the hell to get back home if we wish to. Right? We could figure out the whole relic thing too. That I like. It is. I'm sorry. I don't want to downplay what you're talking about, Ayer. I didn't want our contract to be modified. I want us to be done with this, and you can be a little silver-tongued.
Well, keep in mind, the reason why I asked about the details is to make for sure there wasn't any loopholes, as I
Right.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, so heading towards where the king is and figuring out that relic is going to help most of you get home anyway, so that's good.
And if our stay is extended, it would be best if we found that relic before it gets into the wrong hands.
Right, that does make sense. So I did tell them that they should come here, so even if maybe we're not here, we could notify a couple people of like the general description of the Iron Lords, and hopefully they can meet up and get set, right?
Yes, but one last thing.
Of course.
No,
Go
no,
on.
no. It's just these lands are strange to us, and it's politics and who goes where, and maybe who might be under the employ of certain people. I
Mhm.
think that maybe, outside of the talk we just had now, we keep the temple on the down low. Just in case.
Sure, that makes sense. Like a lot of things out here, we keep it close to our chests, but the people here need to know what's going on because we are going to be installing basically an army in their home, so I thought it important. So,
And I agree.
right, so we're good.
Yes.
All right, then let's celebrate, and I down the rest of my wine.
Hold on. There seems to be a detail I don't think anyone else has thought about.
What's that?
Yeah, what are we missing?
Well, we have been in the Feywild for some time now. Have we not?
Yes.
Did not the Iron Lord say that it has been merely half of an hour since we last contacted them?
Oh, you might be right. It's going to take them
Oh.
a very long time to get here
Time
then.
seems to pass very slowly in this realm.
Yes.
It's certainly going to
Yeah,
seem
you
a
did.
lot longer from our perspective, yeah.
If it takes them even but a week in their time, how long may we be here?
Boy.
All right, well, we still need to go after the relic and all that, so, like, it does make sense in terms of the timing and stuff. We are going to be here for a little while. Like, not in either case, we are going to be here for a little while, just in terms of the exits being closed off. So their protection is going to take a while. Yeah, I guess that is something we should tell the people here. That's a very good point.
I think, moreover, it means that we are more or less on our own for the time being. Marvelous. I'll slam the rest of my drink.
At the very least, we did start the process.
All right,
Well-
so sorry, can you remind me who the leader was we talked to earlier, the guy who was helping us with the torches?
Are we talking about that satyr? I believe he
Harlan?
was a satyr.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yes. I think we should fill Harlan in about how that went and how long it might take for our compatriots to get here.
I mean, I know that they want to get this done, so I know it'll be a little bit for us, but I mean, I think that they're going to try to do it as fast as they can, because if we're having this realization about how long it would take, hopefully they are also having that realization and realize that time is of the essence, right?
I hope so.
Or are we giving them too much credit?
Well, they have gotten a lot accomplished, as we were saying earlier to Harlan. So I don't think it's a bad place to put our faith. We could always try calling them back tomorrow when our stones are recharged.
This is a good
How
point.
long
This is a
did
good
it
point, and
take-
we could make sure that they're aware of that and try to pick up the pace.
If anything, we'll just be calling them a minute later.
Yeah.
Right, which
How
is
long
good.
did it take for us to get here in the first place? It was a week's worth of travel, was it not?
It was about like 9 days.
Right, just
Okay.
over a week, yeah.
So, doing the math off the top of my head, which is never been my particular strong suit, that would probably work out to about 3 weeks at minimum.
Right.
Are we certain that these people can hold out for that long?
I mean, it does sound like these attacks have been going on for quite some time now. And
Right,
they...
And we're here now.
Right,
For-
and it's
yes.
better than like what we're talking about with them is it's better than leaving them without any protection at all, right? Like this is the mutually beneficial situation.
Still,
I don't argue that point. I'm just saying that for now, we are all they have.
but on the other end, we might not have too much time with that relic.
Okay, so do
yes.
we have to tell them that we're leaving to try and take control of that relic before it falls into the wrong hands? Is that what you're suggesting?
I would say yes, but attack just happened and we stopped it, so it would be better if we leave now, right? Because
Yes.
then there'd be less chance of another attack happening while we're gone.
Right, yes.
Potentially.
Seems about right.
Well, maybe we could. Do you mean now, or do you mean like tomorrow morning, so we could like rest and get supplies and things?
I
whatever
mean in the
we
morning. I
need?
don't mean like now.
All right, I was just double checking these things are important because I'm a little tipsy, and it would be. I slummed this maybe a bit too fast.
And it might pay to see if we can get some more supplies as well. Or maybe new equipment if they do have any extra items on hand.
Right, yeah. So we should go talk to Harlan.
Agreed.
All right.
So, time-wise, it's like late evening at this point, and Harlan walks in as you guys are just kind of talking, having the drinks, and you can see he looks pretty tired, and he goes and sits on the stool, taps the bar for a drink, and swivels around to you guys. He says, "Well, everything to your satisfaction."
It's been lovely, thank you. The bread is delightful. So we have kind of a good news, bad news situation at our end in terms of the protection. The good news is the Iron Lords have agreed to protect you, and
Sounds
are
great.
happy. This seems to be a mutually beneficial situation.
Uh-huh.
The bad news is there is a time differential between where we come from and here, so it could take anywhere from about 3 weeks to a month for them to actually show up, which I know is extremely difficult at this point for you to have to hold out for that long, but it is.
Fair enough.
Well, it is.
Well, I mean, we have you here. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Ira, are you hiding behind me? Because
No,
I'm not very.
I'm sitting down on the stool, but
I'm sitting down on the stool.
there's a stool right
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah, she's sitting on it.
Yeah.
I thought you stepped off of it. My apologies.
Right, I know I'm small, but I'm not microscopic.
It just sits in
Anyway.
Tengu's lap.
Ire, you go ahead and share your concern about the relic, because I think you know more details about that than I do.
Yes.
It is something you should know.
And I have heard where Tsutsiko might be headed next. And it may be in our best interest for us to try to disrupt her forces from retrieving an artifact that would basically get through all of those wards we were talking about earlier. It is a bit of travel.
Hold on.
Nearby location.
You're
Yes.
telling me that Tsutsiko is looking for an artifact to get through Raynath's walls.
Yes.
How do you
Because
know this?
Well, let's just call it a bit of divine intervention.
Okay, Tengu immediately sort of like, kind of
Um.
internally collapses a bit.
I'm not sure what to take with that, but sure, whatever.
And that might mean that we would need to go scouting a little bit away from here.
Well, I guess we just have to hope that the roaming dark fey creatures don't destroy us in the meantime.
If anything, we might even provide it as a distraction for your people, considering how important
that's
the relic is for.
That's a optimistic way of looking at it. You'll forgive me if I don't share that optimism anymore.
And I do understand. Now, I know your hospitality has already been so generous, but out of curiosity, is there anywhere we can buy more supplies or procure more armor and weapons for
I mean,
those of us that might need to suit up?
we don't have a blacksmith anymore. We have some stores of like health potions and such that I can provide, but we don't really have an economy anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
Un-
We shouldn't take
understood.
too much out of their health stores. It sounds like they will be needing them themselves.
I do agree. I was just curious maybe that they had some old suits of armor laying around, but I also understand that your resources may be scarce.
We do have old suits of armor, but it's going to take tailoring and work to fit them to your bodies, which we don't have the skill anymore.
That is also fair.
Unless one of you is a blacksmith.
Unfortunately, not.
Unfortunately, I'm more of a merchant myself.
Well, we
Right. I
We-
know
we could
that was kind of a
definitely-
mixed bag.
we can definitely part with some health potions and such. That shouldn't be a problem. If you need like shields or weapons, then we can supply those or restock of arrows, but that's unfortunately probably going to be it.
Understood. And even the littlest bit of help, it really does mean a lot.
Right, you've done more than enough already. We do appreciate it.
As for sleeping arrangements, there are some beds around. Would you be okay with sleeping outside in the courtyard with most of the rest of us? We try to keep the internal beds for the sick and wounded.
Right,
I
I'm good
love
with that.
sleeping on the ground.
That is understood. I'm good with camping, even in much better circumstances here.
I'm honestly more used to that than I am a regular bed.
Wonderful to hear. Well, it's been a long day for me, and possibly for you as well. I'm gonna wind down for the night if that's okay with you guys.
Understood.
By all means.
Oh,
And Harlan leaves.
Alright, well, that went as well as it could have.
Agreed.
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up and feel too bad. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but I don't blame him for feeling the way that he does, you know?
Right, yeah, it's completely understandable. It's just a very literal, tough position. Oh god. What happened? Too much wine.
Why,
Oh.
this wine is very good.
Oh, Crowlem's out. Okay. I just saw the status without the connection.
Oh, yes, Aya, the old man in the corner over there, were you talking about trees or cheese? We could not decide.
Well, he is a man of fascinating stories, and I think it was my worthwhile to speak with him.
Right? You're doing the thing where you don't answer the
That's
question.
not... Yeah, you want to tell us if it was trees or cheese, bud?
Well, he talked about trees and how trees get cut down and die and turn into houses, and then we live in the houses. And he's talked about cheese as well, and then he talked about really what is life
So
and how long
both.
people
It was
live. And I can ramble as long as he did if you wish.
Well, if
No,
it
I
knocks
think the
you
answer
out,
we were
then
looking
maybe.
for was both. That was it.
Right, yes, as opposed to that politician's answer that you tend towards.
I
frankly.
just figured you would have wanted the summarized version.
Yeah, summarize without the answer. You just say both and we're good.
But can you really rush philosophy?
We didn't need that part. We asked you one question.
You can. That's why people invented Cliff's Notes.
Who is Cliff?
Oh, I think I met Cliff one time. He was a
Why are
stand-up
his
gentleman.
notes so important?
Yes, Cliff of the
He was
Notes.
an architect.
You guys don't know about the Cliff Notes lore?
It's a well-renowned
There was
scholar
this
from
guy.
up north.
There was this guy, and he was named Cliff, and he went and he wanted everything to be succinct, you know? So Cliff out here, what a lad, what a guy. He goes and he does all the research, get knowledge, and he goes he cracks it fast. What a guy.
I
Yes,
refilled my
Clifton
flask.
Montgomery, the archivist. I've met him at a party once.
I refill my glass with some wine and I hold it up and I go, to Cliff!
And his
Ah, yeah.
notes.
And his notes.
As you guys are being merry around this table, flower petals and leaves start swishing in under the door, and the door bangs open, and a big swath of flowers and petals coalesces and goes towards the bar where Comus reforms and stumbles against the bar. He's clutching his side.
Oh my god. Sorry, you cut out, but I saw the picture.
And he's clutching his side as he stumbles forward towards the bar.
Bite Size like launches out of her chair and like runs over. Oh my gosh!
Ah, child.
She's like fucking scrambles up the stool and it's just like, Dad, what's up? What are you doing here?
I have been bested in battle. I barely escaped, but I'm alive for now. I will live. Do not worry.
Okay, good. Whew.
5 of her generals ambushed me.
5 of them at once?
Yes, it was not a pretty fight. I had to retreat.
Where did this happen? How close was this?
You must not fret, small one. It was far away.
Okay.
But I will be out of commission for a while I heal from this strange wound that they gave me. I feel it deep inside me. And I don't understand why my healing magics aren't working on it.
Oh no. Yeah, you should rest. You should rest. You should stay here for a while.
I will, child, thank you. I'm glad to see that you have arrived safely here. Do not leave these halls. It is difficult out there for one of your stature.
Don't worry, I would never go out alone. Do you need anything? Can I get you anything?
Oh, do not worry about me. It has but been the first mortally wounding scrap that I've been through. So quiet. Did I say something
A little,
wrong?
yeah. No.
I just stepped up
I've
behind.
been thinking a little concerned, but
Yeah, I just step up behind Bite Size for moral support, but I don't say anything.
Apologies, child. I still am sometimes confused by your mortal feelings.
I know. I'm sorry. I know I can get all emotional and stuff. Guys, my dad's here. Everyone, say hi.
Yes, we've met. The last time I saved your lives.
Exactly, against
Hello
these
again.
very generals.
Thank you again.
I will not be able to do so again for quite a while.
It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully we won't need it.
He points over
we talked with the
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
you go.
He points over
we
at...
talked
oh.
with the
Sorry.
Okay,
Okay, go
you
ahead.
go.
Go ahead.
You
go ahead.
go.
Yeah, you said you go. So okay, you go. I'm just gonna.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
gonna stop talking.
We're a little rough.
It's okay. You go ahead. I'll wait.
We talked with the Iron Lords, and they're planning on coming here to help out. We're thinking that this could be the camp we were talking with setting up, and they're going to provide some assistance.
These Iron Lords, are they good people? Or will I have to free this place from them?
Whoa.
No, it's one of the seven. She's the yellow. She's a very good person.
I have known many of the seven. They were not always good and kind people.
Yeah, I that's kind of their bit, but she's good. I promise. She became one because she one of her friends was potentially going to die, and she was willing to sacrifice her life to save them, kind of thing. Very selfless.
I am glad to hear that, child. Then I hope that these Lords of Iron who come here bring much needed reinforcement to these people.
They should. They have a lot at their disposal. Now, what were you going to say?
He points over at Ire.
Oh, me.
You seem to have a bit more darkness about you since we last interacted.
Well, as you do know, we did have a close call with that general, and I just sought more power to maybe serve as a bit of assurance it doesn't happen again.
The Bladed One is difficult to be trusted.
And many do have their cost, but at the same time, it seemed like the cost would not hinder myself or those around me as well.
Do not
my
take
cost
this the wrong way when I tell you, do not stay in these halls. I cannot trust one who serves the Bladed One. He is violent, to put it mildly.
Well,
And he has been known to break free out of his vessels and destroy those around.
well, at the very least, if I'm a wanderer like we have been, if I were to become, let's say, a weapon, as you're kind of putting it, perhaps it could be used against those generals. But I do understand your concern.
As you're talking, he's kind of like looking around at the rest of them and back at you and the rest of them and back at you. And then his head kind of cocks to the side and he goes,
Why do his chains only surround them, not you?
I wasn't aware of this.
glare. I glare at Ire. I say nothing, but I glare.
Whose chains do you speak of? The Bladed One?
No. Your god.
Oh.
I
Well-
ball my fists.
With that, and I will be transparent, we all did sign a contract at the,
Yes.
Yes.
These are the same chains that I saw on you previously. Why are they gone?
well,
Wait. We all signed up for this,
Mhm.
and you don't have your chains anymore? Why?
well, let's just say that there are sometimes clauses that, can serve to benefit those within a contract.
Right, I'm going for a walk.
How typical of Babylon's servants. Always binding others, yet finding ways out for themselves.
Well,
Are you
the very
screwing
least-
us over?
Well, at the very least, this is how I see it. We
As
all did
as
sign
you
up.
as you start your politician speak, his hand, his hand snaps out and like grabs you by the throat, and he pulls you really close to his like skull head, and he goes,
If you betray my daughter, there will be dire consequences for you. There will be nowhere that you can hide from me in this world or the regular realm. I
As
will.
expected of a loving guardian.
I will hunt you down in this life or your next. My life is endless. Yours is not.
and he drops you.
Well, at least you've made your intentions clear.
Yes, me as well. I'll get up and I'll reach a hand down to Ire.
It is appreciated, and I do take his hand. But I do understand if there was a bit of hesitance to maybe help me up.
Aya, my friend, sometimes the straight answer is the best one. And take it from a man who's made a living off of not giving a straight answer. And I'll pat you on the shoulder and go to see after Tengu a little bit.
Well, I do have a lot to think about, and regardless of what you may all think of me, Comus included, I do appreciate you all. And I walk away.
You know, he could learn a thing or two from Cliff. He could be a little bit more succinct, in my opinion.
That's so good. All right, Joven, you
Bite
find
Size
me
is gonna
practically.
stay at the bar and have another drink and just hang out with her dad. That's what she's gonna do.
Tell me about this cliff fellow.
And we will fade away from them.
Amazing. I'm grabbing a drink real quick.
Love that guy, Cliff.
Truly one of the greatest minds of our generation.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! He fucking bastard! I treasure my freedom above all. He takes it away in a deal that was supposed to get me farther away so I could get my freedom, and then he pulls this shit.
Joven doesn't say anything at first. He just kind of comes over and leans against the statue and just lets you go for a minute.
Yeah, just it's a lot of spitting, it's a lot of sputtering, it's a lot of pacing in circles. I knew it! I knew it! Like there was that moment where he lost his soul and I felt like a horrible fucking person, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe we should have just left it out of his goddamn body and just fucking moved on. I'm so mad. I'm so upset.
I can't tell. Truly, you're a master of your own emotions, Tengu.
Look, I left the room so I wouldn't slap him again, because I promised him I wouldn't slap him again, because I keep my promises, unlike some... Ah!
Joven leans back a little further, kind of uses a finger to dab away some of the spittle off of his face.
Sorry. I've run away from things my whole life, and taking this mission was supposed to be the thing that is something I go towards, not from. And then this happens, and now I'm just stuck. And who knows for how much longer?
Well, I'm sorry. Truly, I don't think any of us quite expected this to turn out the way that it did, but May I make a small observation? And I mean no offense when I point this out.
If you're going to say that I did shake his hand, yes, I did. I know.
No, I don't need to point that out. We all did. We all made the deal, and we're all bound to the conditions set therein. An unfortunate part of doing business in some flocks of life, but you said that you were running away, and you'd spent your life running away, and this deal was supposed to be a start of going away from that, right?
Right.
I mean, from my perspective, it does still seem a bit like running away. I mean, we're in another realm, for the God's sake.
Right. I see your point, and honestly, I was. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but I was actually kind of planning on staying out here, so at least I would be somewhere away from my past.
What are you so afraid of, Tengu?
Be right back. Someone's at the door.
Right in the middle of my monologue. Are you serious?
How now?
I am serving over here.
What there is.
Look, you know of me as quite a talkative person, right? That's
Very
not
much so, yes.
right. So it's because amongst our group, I've been able to trust you guys, frankly, and I feel like I'm rather making up for lost time. I've had several families trying to civilize me over and over in the past, and one in particular is quite good at trying to hunt me down and make me a lady and transform me into the daughter she wasn't able to have in her life. And I found solace in the forest for a while, and I wasn't able to talk to people for a while. And the one time I tried to come back to civilization and try and actually integrate as a fucking person deserves to do, and this happens.
You say that families have tried to adopt you?
Right, yes. The only good family I had was my dwarven father back when I was a wee child. And then I felt the call to the forest, so I left for it. And then I was taken up by some aristocratic folks, and one was in the sort of more magical city. I don't retain the names very well because I've tried to move on from them as fast as I can, frankly. But the second one that I ended up with, she basically tried to reform me as an entirely new person, tried to form me as her as a daughter she may have once lost. I don't know all the details, but it came to the point where I had to run for my own safety, and I ran to the forest and I hid there for a while, but she got too good at tracking me down there, and I thought, why not another plane of existence?
I'll pull out a somewhat ruddy pocket square and hand it to her because she seems quite upset.
I take it, I dab it on my red face. Thank you.
These aristocratic folk, do you remember what their name was? Their family name?
Truly, I don't remember where I kept it in my documents. I have it in my backstory somewhere. I can drop the name into the RP chat later. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Fair enough.
But yeah, let's say I give you the name.
Well, assuming the DM knows the name, would I know it?
Dundee Nand and Dr. Delilah of Crestfall, Professor Kennymead of the Hall of Knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Um. Probably, yeah.
Like even just in passing, I met him at a party type of thing.
Yes. Like because of who you are, you would have probably met them in galas and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And a professor at that depends how much like business you would have had with the magical of the magical sort. So with the Hall of Knowledge,
Probably not that much.
then you would just know them
Yeah.
from like galas and in passing.
Yes, I believe I've met them once or twice. Seemed, well, very uptight to say the least. Sorry.
Right. Well, their ship was very tight. Let's just say.
Hmm.
I hand the I hand the kerchief back.
Yeah, I'll put that back in my pocket. For what it's worth, Tengu, and I wouldn't know much about the subject myself, but and again, forgive me if I'm overstepping. It seems a bit like that you're stuck somewhere between wanting the wilderness of your calling and perhaps the stability of family. Maybe not in the aristocratic sort. Clearly that did not go well. But you did say you did have a good connection with your dwarvish father.
Right. Do miss him sometimes.
Well, family isn't always who's willing to tolerate our bullshit, to put it casually, but family is often who we choose. And in my line of work, you learn very quickly that despite people with the best of intentions and the best of motivations in the world, everybody has secrets. Secrets that are useful and secrets that are damning. Maybe we shouldn't be so quick to judge Aya, although I will admit that the inability to ever answer a straight question is wearing on my nerves as well.
I'm glad it's not just me. I'm also glad you came after me. That was kind of you to check in.
Well, I must admit I'm becoming somewhat fond of our merry little band, and you are some of the most strange people I have ever met, but I suppose one gets used to a little strangeness after a while, and in a place like this.
Right, that's very true.
Are you going to be all right?
I take one of the twigs and I
Oh,
hold it.
yes.
I,
Thank you, sir. I still
um,
don't know what his deal is. He's very strange.
in any case, that was quite kind. I could use some more charcoal for my sketches, honestly.
Well,
I,
here, have mine as well. I don't know what I'm going to quite do with that.
I take the other twig. Thank you for listening to me. Honestly, I know you. I was quite frankly wondering if this entire group was getting tired of me, because I kind of, like you were saying about the whole family thing, and we're all kind of stuck in this together. It's been nice to be able to talk more. So
Sick of you? Never. Without you, we'd starve to death. Who else would procure so many eggs?
right, yeah. Who else would yell at the crows at the night, right?
Exactly. Those bastards would have killed us all by now.
Can I hug you?
Yes. Why not? Sure.
Okay.
It is a very awkward hug. He feels as cold as a corpse.
Well, I don't care. It's a hug, and it's lovely. It's the principle that counts.
Gives you the awkward there, pat on your back.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm holding you way too tight. But I let go pretty quickly because I can sense you're uncomfortable.
It's fine. I can't breathe anyway, so.
Thank you. All right. I think maybe it's time for me to not have any more wine and maybe just have a sip. So, thank you.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, if it makes you feel any better, I believe Bite-Sized Father, well, frankly, strangled him a little bit. So, jolly good and all that.
Right. Comas is very cool, and I appreciate him as a person. So I'm glad to hear that Ire had a bit of a moment.
Yes, well, if he learns from it, remains to be seen, but I must admit, I do like the man.
Right, yeah. Let's see what comes of that. Great. And then, so there was a spot in the courtyard where we're going to settle down for the night?
It was just random spots, I believe. For example, I went off to a bench to lie on.
Alright, I'm going to maybe try and pick one of these tents.
Yeah.
Or maybe set up a tent hereabouts.
Hey,
And
are
I'm
these
just gonna-
body bags all free?
Yeah, cozy on up, man. It's all good.
I'm just going to lie down
All
and
those
be grateful.
tents are occupado. They are. Those are other people's
We
tents.
have tents. We have our
Occupado.
own tents. Just set up your own tent.
Yeah, I'll go back here and I'll put up a tent back here then. And I'll try not to look left.
So I'll put one. I like this corner.
Everyone's just splitting into corners. Huh?
Well, that's where the space is. There's so many body bags.
Just keep in mind, every square is
Tents,
5
goddammit.
feet. Do you really need like 20 feet to lie on?
I mean, me,
Yes.
no. I just appreciate some solitude at times. This being one of them.
Joven kind of makes the time to just kind of walk amongst the body bags.
They're fucking tents.
Your body bags!
Put you in a
I
body
never
bag
seen a
soon,
tent
mother.
that looked like that.
Oh, God.
Joke on you, it's where I'm supposed to be.
Oh.
Oh.
Comas can end you too.
It's like this. This is a tent.
I got talked down by a corpse.
This is not a tent.
These are big tents with medical issues. Those are small tents for
I
people.
swear to
issues.
God, I can see legs in those fucking things. Those are Ziploc bags.
Tent with
Ziplocs.
medical issues? What will tents do
yes.
now?
The manufacture of plastic is well known in in the Feywilds.
The kingdom of Ziploc!
Looks like a tent
Whoa!
to me.
Oh god.
A lumpy ass tent, bro.
Shut up.
That's a big dead guy.
There's a tent for the entire statue.
Can't let it get wet, you know. Briar, as you're kind of walking around, the Fearbog that's sitting up here gestures over to you and kind of pats the stone next to him.
It's not meditating anymore. Okay. I will have a sit.
Greetings, brother.
Greetings, kinsman.
I have not seen you in these woods before.
No, I am a newcomer here. It is so good to see one of my people.
It has been a while since I have seen one of my kind as well. But I can see by your age, it has been a long time since you've left the homeland.
Yes. I am from Jotunheim originally, but I came
Yes,
here
I am as
many years.
well.
So you know our plight shared.
Yes. I left many moons ago, but for you it must have been many, many moons.
Yes, well, I have not tried to keep track. I have not been in the Feywilds, but I am come here on a mission.
Do you have a sanctuary that you guard, brother?
Somewhat a sanctuary of my own. But perhaps I will
Why,
never see it again now. I don't
I
know.
will not see my sanctuary again. I must build a new one. It was vaporized by Tsutsiko's power being unleashed across the river.
That is unfortunate news indeed.
When I felt the loss of my sanctuary, I was catatonic for weeks. I then woke up lying in the ashes. Many weeks later, the blow to my spirit was powerful.
It is good to see you survived, kinsman. A new sanctuary can always be founded.
Very true. Wise
I was
words from one of your age.
beckoned here by the need to preserve the balance and the Dark One upsetting it. Perhaps I will stay here.
Perhaps you can help me rebuild a sanctuary in these woods and regrow these woods once you have completed your call.
That is an excellent idea.
What is your
Perhaps I
mission,
will.
brother?
Well, I was assigned by noble ones back in the Earth Realm to come here and establish a camp with my companions, but not really is it my quest in my heart.
Understood. You feel the darkness here, and you feel the need to set it right.
Yes, that would be it.
Understood, brother. Well, once you have felt that you have done what you needed to do, come find me here, and we will rebuild together.
This is an honorable quest. I'm glad to have met you, Gon. The Elvish folk call me Adriel, but my companions and other folk call me Briar.
And what is your name in our tongue? I never changed my name from Golden.
It is long since I've heard it. I've adopted these other names. They suit me well enough.
Then I shall call you Adriel. For that, I feel is closer to who you are.
We are camping in this courtyard tonight. Would you mind if I stayed up here with you?
It would be my honor.
Excellent.
All right. And
Yay.
you guys all settle down for the night. And it is the next day. I don't think you guys need to do another long rest because you haven't done anything that requires anything. So,
I will just quickly stipulate that before Joven goes to sleep,
Mhm.
stab himself with the wand to recharge it. Long rests, wakes up.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Hey, good idea.
Yeah.
A little stabbed. Calm me down for the
I
night.
don't usually say
Hello,
to
time for
Peggy,
bed.
Actually, here's an interesting question. Can you recharge it?
Okay.
I mean, I've already done it once before.
Ah, okay.
I did ask, and you did let me. So
You needed someone.
I was just thinking of it just now. I was like, "You're already
Stab
dead."
Iron, stab
Hold
Iron.
on a minute.
I'm on team stab Iron.
excuse me, you don't need this. Ka!
I mean, it's already been used on me before in another way.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, that's.
With a healing part, of course. It's only fair.
No, that's fine. If Joven can stab himself, it's just a fun thought experiment because he's already dead.
I was terrified of what you were going to say about doing that. The first time I did it, I'm like, am I about to kill somebody? Here we go. Here's healing energy. Oh, shit, it's poison.
Oopsie poopsie.
I mean, it'd be a really good, like, offensive weapon if that was the case, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Joven just becomes a death spewer. I heal you for 3d8 necrotic damage.
Oh, shit, you're dead.
Wait, Joven, no! Ah!
Oops.
I feel like such a G decoy. Like, oh no, the prison guard stole my wand of super good healing.
It cures all ailments. I know you got that limp knee.
Give
Give
it
yourself
a
a
go.
poke, buddy. Yes!
All right. So it is the next morning, and there is like a hustle and bustle around the inner courtyard. We'll assume that Bite-Sized eventually left Comus alone and
Eventually,
went
yes.
to bed, and Comas eventually went somewhere else to stay, to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's up to you to decide if you're going to leave or not.
Well, that is the question, is it not?
I don't suppose anyone would like an egg for breakfast.
Yeah, egg me.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's a craving for some of you.
The eggs, I need them.
Alright.
You know what? I'm gonna dig that Joven comes over to join the group out of the tavern with like a loaf of bread under his arm and a mouthful of just like bread and cheese.
Oh, more of that, please. Yes.
Everyone drops the eggs. They're like, ew, gross. Get rid of this.
Fry up the eggs and put them on the sandwich.
Right, yes! Breakfast sandwich time!
That sounds
I think
dangerously
they're
close to
called
McRubbins.
McRubbins.
I was going to say, don't the Iron Lords have a thing for this?
I tried one back there, they're delicious.
Yeah, supposedly it was the small green one who came up with that. Who'd have thought?
I'm just like not making eye contact with Ire, by the way. Everyone else gets an egg.
It's fine.
He gets a begrudgingly handed over egg with no eye contact.
When he comes, bites.
I hand Joven another egg then. If you're getting rid of yours, I have to make sure you have one.
Bite
He
Size
gets
was
Tim
sitting on the
Hortons
edge of the
service egg.
fountain, and then when he came over, she very pointedly gets up and like moves. Like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yes. The
now
Iron
that
Club, yay!
we are all acquainted, in a sense.
Oh,
Do you have
acquainted
any
is what we're
questions
calling
for me?
it. Acquainted.
Well,
It's funny.
I actually didn't have too many chances to speak with you on that occasion. But if you'd like to ask any questions, and following the advice of one of our compatriots, Joven, just so there's no misunderstandings, I will give you a straight answer.
Right. Is it going to be an actual straight answer, or is it going to be
Yes.
a... All right, I'll take your word for it.
So, if no one will ask any questions to begin, I knew about it for less than a day. And the moment it happened, that's when we were attacked by those shadow creatures. It happened in the bar, Joven. As you recall, I looked a little bewildered. And
Yeah.
I happened to move away.
What?
Do you remember when we were sitting down at the tavern and I said something out loud and you're like, what was that? Well, that was me learning about my contract and the position that I was no longer in it.
Right. So you were visited by your god?
I mean,
Hold on, Ira, before
Yes.
you say anything, let me just write you something.
Of course.
You know, I feel like personally, the time when Joven asked, when you said that thing out loud and Joven asked, hey, what was that? I feel like that was like the perfect in to talk about this thing. Super
Right,
weird
what
that you
that-
didn't take that opportunity.
Right, what was that? Then tell us what it was.
Well, I'll give him the
Well-
benefit of the doubt on that one. I mean,
Well, the
if you're in the
reason
middle
why
of something...
I didn't speak of that was, Joven, if you remember, we were trying to get the attention of those two arguing people, and I already made an ass of myself. I figured if I talked about it then and there, I would have ruined our chances even further of maybe gleaning some information from them, and then frankly, I was very embarrassed when they both left anyway. I usually pride myself on the way I speak and the information I'm able to gather. So
It's
it
just
was a bit humbling.
not to come off as like being rude, but it's so crazy how like you say so much and nothing at the exact same time.
That's fair, and that's why I'm trying to do my best in terms of answering things straightly. And what I will say is every one of you here have every right to be angry and frustrated about this current situation here. And that's why I at least want to communicate with you to at least have some sense of understanding. Because if there's one thing that I will frankly say, and truthfully and honestly, despite us entering a contract together and it seemingly being a business transaction of sorts, I have grown to be quite fond of you all. And I do appreciate, and although understand, your support as well as mistrust. I do hope that you can at least trust me in the future.
Can I throw an egg in his face?
And
Sure can.
you can if you wish.
No, I'm not gonna. Why do you
Assuming-
say that in character? Come on. I'm not gonna ask that to this guy. I'm asking his baby.
I figured you were asking the party, and I was responding to that as well.
No, if I'm asking the party, I'm talking in the accent. I'm just legit gonna just toss an egg in your face. One, I'm kind of giving you breakfast as a way of acknowledging that you just said things, but two, I'm still mad.
Yeah, I'll take it, and I'll pick up the egg after it hits the ground. And
Do I need to make an attack roll?
I'm not gonna dodge it.
You know, roll a d20 plus your dex.
Okay. Plus my deck. Oh,
Well,
okay. I'm too mad.
You
I'm really
eat
mad.
an egg into
I
this.
just go get it.
Well, I'll go pick it up in a bit. I think as though food is important, at least reaching this understanding is the most important thing. If we do
Well,
intend
we haven't
to-
really reached an understanding, have we, Aya?
Well, how can I help? How can I clear some things up?
Bite-sized father said that you were not bound in chains under the contract of your god. Why?
Well, if I were to speak truthfully, I don't fully understand the workings of these contracts. And I just know that I am not bound. And I've known that since right before the Shadow People.
The shadow.
The Shadow figures. I'm a little bit flustered, to be honest. But understandably, I do understand why you're all angry at me.
So there was nothing that occurred when this being appeared to you in the middle of conversation in the tavern, embarrassing you, like you said, and when you all of a sudden found yourself bound with no chains. I find that a little hard to believe.
Also,
Understandably
what does this
so.
mean? What does this mean if we're all bound and you're not bound exactly?
Right, you could leave anytime you want at this point.
But have I left?
You could really screw us over if you
I
wanted
could
to.
have left in the night when your father had told me not to stay here. And out of a sign of respect, bite-sized, and I know you don't want to hear it from my mouth. Just, your father was understandably angry at me, and I deserved every amount of, and I don't mean this as a pun, ire towards me. And as well, if I was truly underhanded in his moment of anger, I could have tried to make him make a promise or an oath there, and I figured that that would be disrespectful to you as well as him. And if you really want to know my desires for myself in terms of what I set out to do, I know many of you may have seen the marking on me, and your father did call out this as well. I did make a pact with the Bladed One, and I did this for power. I did this because, much like some of you here, you may have felt a little bit displaced by the people or events regarding our families and guardians. And knowing the travesty that happened to who I considered my own guardian, I do want revenge on whatever being has caused harm to Vertella, who I considered a mother to me. So if I do have the chance to strike out at that being that caused her death, I will take it. And that is my self-interest. Is there anything else I can answer?
I mean, out of character, not gonna lie, dude, we had a severe lag spike and I completely missed all of that.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Our internet
It's
got a
all
little.
good.
In essence, he said, "Get fucked. I hate you." No, I'm kidding.
What he's been doing for 10 seconds!
Well, in essence, to kind of summarize it all, I did talk
Yeah,
about...
okay. Cliff.
Oh no.
The robots are taking over.
Am I
Oh,
still
no.
cutting out?
No, it's not you.
No,
It's them.
not you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay, it's all good.
Half of us
But-
heard you.
Okay, understood. Long story short,
Cliff notes, cliff notes.
yes, exactly. Here's the cliff notes of
Cliff.
what I was trying to talk about.
Go, Cliff.
So, my guardian was killed by an entity. I still foster anger towards this entity that I do not know its identity. And if I ever have the chance to strike out at it, that is my own self-interest in terms of I will do things to get my revenge for Vertella. And that's why I made a pact with the Bladed One, which was some information that was given to everyone yesterday, courtesy of Bite-Sized father. Whew.
Okay, I remember the blade note. Thank you again, Cliff, for your marvelous service.
Yes, and I just learned about him yesterday, and I want to thank you again, Bite-Sized, for that, despite the circumstances that I've learned this.
Right, it would behoove you to be more precise. So, alright, we've got... Alright, there's this whole thing about the artifact, right?
Yes.
Alright. And we have no reason to disbelieve you on that front, right?
Well, if I am being honest.
Yes or no, Ire?
So I will say yes and explain where I got that information. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So yes, there's no reason you should disbelieve me. However, if you fear my source, the ramblings of that philosophical old man, well, that could be something that maybe you might distrust that information. But I have a hunch that he was telling the truth. Something that was very serious, despite all of his philosophical ramblings.
Right.
Right. Totally.
All right. So let's hold a vote. Do we stay here and protect this area until the Iron Lords get here, or do we leave and go after this rambly fellow's advice?
I mean, I'm not exactly feeling the best about us leaving under these circumstances, because it just throws a lot of things into question. You know what I mean? We weren't privy to this conversation. He could just be saying things, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And you could also ask them their opinion as well if maybe you do not trust my words or my hand in the vote.
Well, I don't think the Iron Lords are going to have more information than we do, but I guess we could talk to other people here, yes, like Joven was saying. So, perhaps before we leave and before we vote, we do some recon, we ask some people around here, and make a more informed decision, rather than just getting our source from one.
I can get behind that.
Right, okay, so let's talk to some others with our breakfast, and we'll figure it out. Alright, I'm gonna head to the bar.
I'll go with Tengu just to back her up.
Is he still passed out in the corner?
Snorts awake as you walk in. Trees.
Alright, so here's the gentleman that he said he was talking to. Let's see what we think about him in particular. Or did you want to try talk to Saley, maybe?
You take the old man, I'll talk to the barmaid, and I'll see if I can gain any sort of insight.
Right. I'm gonna go sit by Crolum.
Hello. What can I do for you this morning?
Good morning. You spoke with one of my compatriots last night about a concern that I would like to follow up with, if you don't mind.
What could that possibly be?
Sorry, were you typing at the same time? Because I hear like sputtering.
Oh,
okay.
They're an automatic. I don't do wait out. Somebody right shins in the morning.
You from Alabama? What the fuck is happening right now?
I go over and I poke him gently.
Why are you poking me?
I was just double checking if you were still awake or not.
I'm awake.
All right. Good morning. I was hoping to discuss with you something that you said to one of my compatriots last night about a relic that Tsutsiko may be going after.
Oh, now I watched the ebb and flow of life, seen civilization rise and fall like the tides of the sea, the mortals with their fleeting dreams and ambitions, tread upon the sacred land and aware of the ancient spirits that watch over them. They build their cities of stone and steel, blind to the whispers of the trees and the songs of the rivers.
Right. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You must find the relic.
How?
But the forest remembers. It remembers the very touch of every footstep. The echo of every word spoken beneath its boughs.
Right. Okay. I can actually talk to the forest, so that's not a bad clue. I can speak
You
with
see,
plants.
life as a dryad isn't always about grand adventures and mystical revelations. Much of it is simply about nurturing the flora and fauna that call this place home. Ensuring that each fern unfurls its fronds in just the right way, and every rabbit finds its burrow safe and warm.
Getting David Attenborough vibes. All right. I'm actually gonna kind of bow with some respect to that. And then I'm gonna check on how Joven's doing.
Continues rambling as you walk away.
Okay. I don't know if you want to play out Joven's situation now.
All right,
before I
Joven,
approach.
before she comes over. Morning, love. Can I get you something to drink? Coffee, tea?
Oh, a coffee would be divine, thank you.
Not a problem. Brewed a fresh batch just this morning.
Marvelous. And oh, by the way, I'm sorry we got caught up with a bit of drama last night, but this is for you, and I'll put down 30 gold on the bar.
Thanks, I guess. Don't really have a need for gold, but it's appreciated.
Well, hold on to it. I'm sure once the Iron Lord's constituent arrives, you'll have some more use for it than you do now.
Well, we don't use gold in the Feywilds.
Oh, well, I suppose that's what on me. Egg on my face and all of that.
Is it a lot of is 30 gold a lot of currency where you're from? Like, would I be able to get a lot done with that with the Iron Lords?
Not quite a lot per se, but it's not awful. It's more than enough to cover a few drinks and a little bit of breakfast.
Yeah, all right. I'll keep it, I suppose. Thanks.
You're welcome. I wonder if I could trouble you. That strange gentleman sitting in the back corner over there. What is his name?
Oh, him? That's Crowlem. It's a bit of a sad story with him, really. I mean, all of us have sad stories now, but his mind's a bit broken since everything happened. But he used to be broken. How? Well, he saw terrible things happen to his wife and child, and he told Harlem about it once, and I wish he had never told me, but I'll spare you the details. He used to be a sort of lore keeper around these parts, so once in a while you'll still get something useful out of him, but mostly he just rambles now. I let him stay in here. He doesn't have anywhere else to be.
It's very kind of you. Yes, it's interesting that you say that he was rambling, because my friend seemed to overhear something about some sort of a relic of some kind that must be protected. I don't suppose you've heard anything like that in passing?
I mean, I'm sure there's lots of relics everywhere in the Feywilds that are powerful in some way or another.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Out of character, because I legitimately can't remember. Was there a name to this relic that was
No.
mentioned, or just
No.
a relic? Okay, thank you.
It was connected to that king, though. What was the king's name?
The Forest King is Raynath.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
believe there was a mention of the name of Raynath, Forest King, something to do with him, one of his relics in particular.
One of his relics? I don't know that he has relics, but I suppose. I wouldn't really know much about it. I used to run a coffee shop and kind of a bookstore.
Well, I figured it was worth asking. It sounded somewhat serious, and you spend a bit of time with him. In
Well-
future, if you happen to overhear him say anything about that, would you do me the greatest of favors and make a note of it for me?
I can try. He does ramble a lot. It's only some people that he's actually talks to.
Only if you happen to hear anything, nothing troubling, I think, overall. Thank you for the marvelous coffee. It's delightful.
Her face lights up at that, and she's like, "I'm glad you like it."
Aww. One for Tengu, my little friend here, as well.
Would you like a coffee?
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
She puts a steaming hot cup of coffee in front of you with some cream and sugar on the side.
She's gonna.
Sorry about the little
take it
comment,
back.
Tengu. Force a habit.
Right, I'll have to get used to it then, I guess. She has a sip, and she just kind of hugs the mug a little bit in comfort. You're right. It's lovely.
You see that sort of an autumn sunset glow starts radiating from Saley.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and hospitality. I hope the Iron Lords can help. I'm sorry it's not going to be faster, but we'll try our best to get them here with some urgency. We're actually about to do a call, so.
Oh, I'm sure everything will be fine. Thank you, love.
All right. Shall we? And I look at Joven.
Yes, I suppose so. I'll slam the rest of my coffee.
Yeah. I'll drink mine with as much delicateness that I can with a piping hot beverage.
Here, one moment. And she gets a mug out, like a wooden mug, and holds out her hand. Here, let me have your coffee. You can take this outside with you. It'll be much easier to hold.
We're getting to go cups. This is amazing.
It's essentially an ale cup, but she's just pouring the coffee in it so that it's easier to hold when you're outside. Just bring it back later, please.
All right, will do. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Then I walk back with Joven and I'm like, I will tell you, talking with Crowlem is worse than talking with Ire, I swear.
Yes, that's why I wanted you to do it.
Right. Well, I can tell you that I believe that he believes that he is saying something important. And that part that he talked about the relic was amongst the most coherent. So, and there's some things that I could do to kind of follow up on it as well, because he was talking about how, as a dryad, sort of listening to the plants might be a good thing, and I can do that too. So I might give that a go if we go out.
That's an idea. The man's coherency is in question. Saley was saying that he has lost much of his mind after losing his family, but the fact that that's amongst the most coherent of his thoughts does lend credence to it. I think your avenue might be our next bet for following it up.
Right. Okay.
Well, let's see how the others are getting on.
I sip at my coffee. It is extremely comforting.
Bite Size gives the last part of her breakfast sandwich to Toki.
He scarfs it down.
She gives him many pets.
And he... I mean, Toki's pretty... How small is Bite Size?
Canonically, like 3'5", I think, at the most.
Okay. You're a bit too big. I was going to get Toki to carry you.
Ride into battle.
Sorry, I just realized something. Apparently, I didn't take Speak with Plants. I wanted to.
Rip.
Shit.
Oh,
That's my bad. Can we forget I said that part?
Yep.
I can try and talk to the other animals about it, and then yeah, let's swap those out. Not the crows though; those guys are assholes.
And they're very chatty. I can never understand what they're saying though.
I can only... Plants can understand me, but I can't understand plants, so...
Ooh, that is something though, in terms of... He said something about following them to get to where the relic is, so if he can pick up on their whispers in terms of maybe a direction to follow, that might be something.
Could work, I guess.
It's a thought. I know it's not. Basically, the intel was... He's a rather baffling person to speak to, but again, among the most coherent, and the weight and importance that he put on things that he was talking about, it did seem like he believed that this relic in the hands of the Forest King is of utmost importance to not fall to someone else.
I honestly did find him quite interesting. Although, as you did say, he does ramble quite a bit.
So, is this intel what we're comfortable enough to go on, or not? What do we think?
Well, you do know my vote, so I will abstain from giving any more info there.
I'm still kind of avoiding eye contact with you, but I acknowledge it with a little bit of a nod.
Well, I'm not the most noble of gentlemen, I'll be the first to admit, but it does feel wrong to leave these people to their own defenses and follow a whim that may or may not turn out to be anything specific. If we had more information, I would feel more comfortable with that.
Right, okay, I might try a ritual cast of talking to the local animals and see what they can pick up on. Maybe they understand the plants a little better, and I'll see what I can get. So I'm gonna go outside for a bit.
Well, it's a start.
Briar, I don't know if you want to join me, because maybe somewhere between what we can do, we can figure something out.
That's what I was gonna suggest. None of us should be alone. So, take Briar, take anyone, but don't go out by yourself.
Yes, I will come with you.
Thank you. Right. So I just basically want to get outside of the building and as close to some... I know there's a lot of destroyed stuff out there, but some relatively undisturbed plantage.
Yeah, so like most of it would be like within the town. That's been
so
like sheltered from the blast kind of thing.
Okay, maybe over here.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna start a ritual cast of Speak with Animals. And Briar, I don't know what you have to do to listen for plants. But if you could go ahead and start doing that beside me, maybe between the two of us we can get some kind of signal. So it's gonna take me about
They can
10
understand
minutes.
me, I can't understand them.
Okay. So then if you talk to the plants about the relic of the Forest King reigneth, and which direction we can head off into, and then I will speak to the animals and ask them about what the plants are saying.
I think there's been a bit of confusion out of character. It is not Raynath's relic. It is
Okay.
a relic in the Temple of Own, who is god of the dream. It is just a relic that will be able to get through Raynath's wards.
Right, got you. Okay. Okay, so we'll rewind what I said about Raynath, and we'll insert the Temple of Own and the dreams and all that. Yeah. So you start asking, and then I will try and reach out to hopefully friendly animals. Hopefully not a bunch of crows.
So
if it helps, I also have just naturally I have speak with small beasts. To communicate simple ideas with smaller beasts, but that is less in terms of speaking communication, so that's why I'm doing the whole actual casting.
Alright, so Briar starts, I guess, talking to the tree and the plants around him, and Tengu starts her ritual to cast her speak with animals. 10 minutes go by for your casting, and once your spell takes effect, you hear them. You hear the crows. They're back. You hear them chat shit to you.
God damn it. If I spend more time concentrating, can I see if I can pick out something other than a crow?
I mean, you could try talking to the crows.
Right, okay.
With the crows.
You're I don't. Oh God.
It's the egg stealer.
Right. Okay. If I don't steal any more eggs from you,
egg thief,
can we call a truce?
Thievery! You have stolen.
Yes, I have. What
You eat
can I
our
do?
children.
Right, what can I do to get past this? And as far as I know, we haven't eaten any eggs that have anything growing inside them as of yet. So
That's what you think?
it is what I think. And I apologize if I got that wrong.
While you're shouting at the animals,
I didn't think that was shouting.
No. I'm just role playing here.
Their ears are small, to them it's shouting.
Exactly. Briar, you're talking to this tree about this, and very, very subtly and like super slowly, but something that you're kind of used to having communed with trees and plants and stuff. The branches of the tree are of the entire tree are kind of bending very, very slowly towards the east.
I think I understand. Thank you. I just rest my hand on the tree.
All right, so Tengu, the birds are still yelling at you,
Right.
and
Okay.
there's a like a couple squirrels in the tree who, you know, just because they're little shits, they start yelling at you too, just because they want to be in on the fun.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take out the rest of the eggs I have in my pack, the uncooked ones, and I'm gonna lay them on the ground. And I'm gonna step back from
we know it. She admits to the guilt.
I'm admitting to it, and I'm letting you have these ones back, okay? I'm sorry.
A squirrel throws a nut at you.
I didn't even do anything to you.
Yeah, but fuck you.
Right? Well,
You're too close to the tree. Meanwhile, Briar's just like hugging the tree and they don't care.
Oh no.
Right. Briar, I hope you had more luck than I did, because I just got a lot of small animals mad at me.
Yes, I think I have garnered some information.
Right, okay. So do you think this is good info we're working with then?
Well, the tree seems to understand what I'm talking about. It's directing me to the east.
All right, great. I would be happy to trust the trees. All right, let's go back in and tell the others then, shall we? Unless you need more time, of course.
No, I think I'm alright. We can go discuss with the others.
All right. Well, thank you for taking this time with me, and I'm glad things went well for you. We also might be having different breakfasts the next couple of days. I'm sorry. I do legit like leave the rest of the eggs there.
Okay. Toki's like, hi, friend.
Hi, Toki. Give him a pet. Give him good.
You
switches.
can understand me again.
Right?
What's
Yes,
going
I
on?
know. It's weird. It only happens sometimes. I know, but I'm glad we can still talk. How was that sandwich that Bite Size gave you? It looked good.
Oh, so delicious. She's my new friend.
Right? Yes, she's a very good friend of mine too. All right,
The
let's
big
go
dark
back to
one.
the others.
He doesn't
The
give
big dark
food.
one?
He's not fed.
Well, he's an acquired taste, but once you get to know him, he's quite nice. All right, let's go back.
Okay.
Come on, Dookie. All right, so
Hi, friend.
I guess good news, bad news. Good news, Briar got in touch with the animals. I mean, with the plants. He did great. Bad news, we might not be getting eggs for breakfast tomorrow.
Oh
Well,
no.
I mean,
How
it just
terrible.
means we have to be more creative.
Right, I was.
Kill them.
I've been sticking with the eggs mostly because I'm not as familiar with the fungus around here. I normally go for like mushrooms, but it's like I don't they're different here, so I might need to take some time to study them a little bit more to make sure I don't kill us. So yeah.
That is fair. But also, if you happen to find a harmful one, maybe we could use it to our advantage. Although I do not know if any of us here are, like, a herbologist or a potion maker in any way or form.
Right. Briar, do you want to tell them what you heard or found out?
Well, this isn't very detailed information. The trees are not exactly linguists, if you will. However, the one I was communing with has pointed me in the direction of the east.
Alright, so I have more confidence in the trees than I have in some of this other intel we've gathered. So I am interested in following up with that.
Yep, that's enough for me.
Fine.
If it does have us
Yes, I-
following up with the relic, then I'm glad that we got that intel.
Right,
I suppose
so
it's worth looking into, although we do need to make sure people are prepared for our absence.
yes, we do need to let Harlan know. I wonder if he's up.
Dum dum dum. Harlan comes out, walking towards your
Hey.
party, and he's holding a couple of bags, and he says, "Morning. I've had some travel rations prepared for you, as I assume you're leaving."
That is extremely kind of you, thank you. And yes, we did follow up. We're going to do another call with the Iron Lords and let them know to come as soon as possible. And
Would you mind if I was part of that call so that they know who they're talking with?
right, good point. We haven't done that yet, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do that now.
All right, so in these bags, you have some dried cured meats that should last you at least a few days if you stretch it to a week. And I've included 12 regular health potions and 12 greater health potions.
That is.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
That is extremely generous.
Well, I hope
Yes.
that once the Iron Lords arrive, that much of this pressure will be relieved.
That is what we hope to.
All right, so shall we do another quick call then?
All right, so for this call,
Press 1.
0.
Assuming
to speak with
Tamaki,
Gulgurn, press 1. To speak with Tamaki, press 2.
assuming Tamaki answers, Tamaki, it has actually now been 6 weeks since they last
my
called,
God.
and you assumed they were dead, but preparations are in full swing of getting there. Your scholars think they're close to figuring out a way to open a portal using your magic portal thing that you have in your palace to this city.
Oh my god. Okay.
How long has it been,
Ring,
like,
ring, ring,
in
ring.
our place since we called?
10 days now.
Hello?
Since you called? Yeah, it was yesterday, last night.
Last night, yeah.
Huh.
It's super inconsistent. That's what I'm getting. Feywild
Yes.
are wild.
Exactly.
All right, so I start the call. Hello? Anyone there?
Hello?
Hello? Tamaki.
Oh my gosh, you're alive?
Yes. Yes, we are. You
It's-
you sound concerned. Are you all right?
Let me ask first. When was the last time that you called me?
Last night?
It's been 6 weeks here.
Oh no. Okay, so it's not consistent, I guess, timing wise. All right. Well, how are things on your end? Are you setting up quick?
Well, it's a little bit better now. We were convinced that you were dead, so.
Well, yeah, we're all here. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
See?
Hello.
Yeah. Right. This is Harlan.
Yes.
He is the leader of the town. He wanted to introduce himself and talk, so here.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'm Tamaki. Nice to meet you, Harlan.
Thank you. I am the leader of this town, and I apologize if I'm not diplomatic. This is new to me as well. Our previous leaders are all dead. But I have been keeping things together, and we'll be organizing things when you arrive. All right? Yes. Okay. Goodbye. And he leaves. He's like super awkward.
Good. I mean, I'm not that diplomatic myself either. But like I said, it's been 6 weeks, and preparations are well underway. Our scholars are really close to being able to end, so we should be there sooner rather than later. I mean, the timing's really inconsistent, and it was very worrying for us. But I mean, at least it's only been less than a day for you, so hopefully we'll be there for you very soon.
Right, I hope so. Yes. All right, good. I mostly wanted to do this call to double check that you are coming as soon as you possibly can, and it sounds like you are, and we're still alive, so it's all good. We'll try to keep in contact so you don't have to worry about us dying as much. On our end of things, it sounds like there is a dangerous relic that could cause a lot of trouble for the people here and would actually interrupt a lot of what you're trying to do. So we're gonna try and track it down and curb that situation before it gets too bad. So wish us luck.
So much luck. I really like that you're doing that. Thank you so much for getting on top of that. That's fantastic.
Right, okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to say?
I'm still just reeling from the fact that you're not dead, but very happy that everyone's alive.
Understandable. Yes, Feywild's are wild. Does anyone else have anything they want to pass along to Tamaki here?
No, I think you've summarized it pretty well. You gave her the cliff.
All right.
No, it's not you guys. It's just, I think I caught that guy on an off day. I met him at a party once, and he was a real asshole. You know. Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you, and yes, please come here as soon as possible. These people are in great need, so it would be very much appreciated for everyone involved.
Absolutely. Getting there as soon as I can. Don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll follow up soon.
Yeah,
I
call
don't know
when you have
exactly
enough.
when. I don't know exactly when
Say
soon
it,
is,
okay?
but yes, yeah, exactly. Will do.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Right. Thank you. Bye. All right. I guess that's it. Let's. I guess take the initiative and go from here and head east. Right.
I suppose so.
Yes, we shall.
Yep. We should divide up the health potions before we head out.
Agreed.
Yep.
I mean,
Correct.
we wouldn't
Yeah.
want one person to hoard all the health potions.
Mr. Community over here all of a sudden. But yeah. So sorry, there was 12 regular and 12
Greater.
What? 12 greater. So 2 each.
Sounds good.
Actually, 2 each and then a couple extras.
Well, I'll just take my 2. I won't take any of the extras.
Right.
Why is there extras?
Mm.
There's 2 of each.
There's 5 of. No.
There's 6 of
sorry,
you.
just me being dumb. Nope. Sorry, my bad.
She wasn't thinking of ire. That's
Screw that guy.
Can't blame her. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we have these couple of extras. I guess fuck that guy.
Meanwhile, you're standing there with your hand out, and I'm like, meh. No,
I
yeah,
already
sorry.
added them to my list.
My bad. Yes. No, yeah. 2 each. Yeah.
Regular and greater, right?
Yes.
That actually gives me 3 regulars because I had one already. And we're gonna do.
And Halloran is kind of here with you guys and says, "Well, I hope that help comes in the time that you're away. I know that the time difference is a little weird sometimes, but
Right. Yes.
I wish you luck in preventing another disaster."
Right. Yes. We also wish you luck in holding out.
No pressure.
If you see the border to the Dark Fae, the Void, don't enter it. I know that there can be whisperings and things in your mind that beckon you into it, but just don't enter it. You won't come out. And understand, the closer you get, the stronger and larger and fiercer the creatures that come out of it will be.
Great.
They tend to fray the further they go into the Feywilds.
Understood.
It does make me wonder how Tsutsiko did it. She must have bound herself to someone. I'm sure we'll find out one day.
Right. I hope next time we see you, it will be good health and good protection. And I'm going to offer my hand for a handshake.
And he shakes your hand back. Surprisingly soft. For the rugged-looking man that he is.
Right. Off we are then.
All right. And the party heads off into the ravaged, burnt lands. As you guys walk for the day and head out through these lands, you find that there is basically nothing alive out here. All the trees are just like barren. You can see that whatever magical explosion happened when Tsutsiko fought Philiastra, it must have been of incredible power from Tsutsiko to have destroyed such a vast swath of land. You like it's stretching beyond the horizon kind of thing. You guys have been walking for pretty much the entire day, and you come up to another ruined town. There's nothing left here. It's just rubble and burnt corpses everywhere.
God.
She's really doing a number on these places, isn't she?
Yes, this destruction knows no bounds.
Terrible. Toki!
Bork, 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 bork.
Yay.
Oh boy.
Sniff some bones. Bork
You can have one.
takes a femur from
No.
a human. Skeleton is happy.
Alright.
And
Good boy.
as you guys get to about there, someone steps forward out of some ruins.
Oh.
Aha! I am glad that I have found you again. You will not escape me this time. We have made sure your savior was unawares of where you are, and unable to come to your aid this time. Please, do not resist.
Well, shit.
And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Okay. Good stuff.
Awesome session, everyone.
Yeah.
Real good energy at the sesh.
Yeah.
That was fun. I had a good time with that one.
I did too.
That was good.
I finally got to freak out on you. I was waiting for this moment. Like there's been the bitter words, but there hasn't been like the realization that you're not bound, but we are. Like I was so looking forward to that. Like I'm gonna get so fucking mad.
I mean, we're all bound by something.
Yeah, here you are politicianing again.
I enjoyed being angry Papa Koros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
so good. So
Even
awesome.
though Tengu didn't see that, that was awesome.
Made me very, very happy.
I was tempted to have you swear an oath to him, but Koros wouldn't swing that way.
No.
He knows it would grant Babylon power over him as well. So
Yeah.
He's like, fuck that.
yeah,
No thanks.
pretty much.
Right. Thanks for the assist with the plants, Briar. Couldn't have done it by myself.
Ew.
Like, damn. Like, I just fucking got more tiny creatures mad at me. So
The birds were just the
trustworthy
hype men
plant
for the other squirrels.
The hype man.
action. Asshole squirrel or two. God damn.
Soon you'll have to fight Conquer.
Oh no! Who swears
He's had a
more?
bad
Tengu
fur
or
day.
God.
I find myself swearing a lot as Tengu, so I wonder who swears more.
Yeah,
All right.
the real questions. I respect that.
Also, thanks for coming after me. that was nice.
You are welcome.
Okay, so next week, May 5th. How are we looking?
I'm looking
Gonna
good.
be busy on the 5th.
All right. The 6th.
The 6th?
a Monday.
I'm good for the 6th. I work until 6:30.
I'm good with
but
that
so
Monday. It
If we push
actually
it, if we
helps.
push it
Yeah,
to
if we
the
do like
7th
7 or something and just do a shorter session.
Yeah, if we push it to 7 p.m., then yeah, I can do the 6th.
I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, 6
that's
is
good.
fine.
Okay.
Works for me.
Sweet.
For me,
Okay.
yeah.
So then we will do Monday the 6th at 7. Sorry, I was having a bit of a stroke while I was saying that.
Well, as long as it's only a bit.
My brain was thinking of something else while I was trying to say it, and then it was like not coming out anymore. I had to go back.
Yeah, I feel you.
Love spoonerism.
Also, it is surprisingly hard to just ramble about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I was thinking like, oh, I could just talk about something random, but trying to think of something random and then actually like saying something coherent.
Empty brain. Yep.
All right,
You
then
could have made him ramble more about cheese.
just there's too much cheese talk in my campaigns as is.
Yeah,
I've had
honestly.
enough of it.
Fair enough.
He's had some
Fair
cheese
enough.
trauma.
Fair
You ate cheese and
enough.
met God. I don't know what's so complicated.
Exactly.
Starts channeling Rivnor.
Oh, boy.
That would just make Rivnor like pop out of the ground in the Feywild. He'd be like, cheese cart business.
It's what clam juice would have wanted.
That's fair enough. Maybe that'll be his calling once Rivnor dies. He'll slither on the ground with cheese. Just have the cart with him at all times.
You guys
I hate the
next
word
week?
slither in context. But
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night.
Thank
Thank you.
Night.
Thank you.
Bye.